I'm not sure what the exact time span was. It felt like about 90 seconds. But here's when you knew, as they say, the shit was real. I got my computer out, I got my TV on, and I felt maybe it was 10 minutes. 10 minutes. The President of the United States, in a very serious, somber address from the Oval Office, his second address from the Oval Office in his 3 years in the White House, he looked into the camera, kind of looked at the teleprompter at the same time, stuck to the script, did a good job, and said, no more travel from Europe. No more travel. That's when you felt like, uh-oh, this is real. Then, I don't know, 10 seconds later, Tom Hanks tweets out that he's got the virus, his wife has the virus, and they're following protocols in Australia. By the way, that means Forrest Gump has to stay. I mean, whatever his name is in Castaway, he has to stay on that island. You got to stay over. We're not going to try to save you here, bub.
I heard you were sick.
You are sick, and you're staying there till you get better.
It's a good time to be a castaway.
In Australia, no, that guy's not going to get sick.
No.
That guy on the island, and then moments later, Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz, we learn, has got the virus, and the NBA halts this season, just calls off the season. One of the visuals that I'll always remember from this night is Mark Cuban, who I can't stand, but Mark Cuban sitting courtside. He's a very animated, emotional guy. Looks at his phone, gets a message, I assume, saying the season is off, and just throws his head up, his arms up, and just kind of throws this little tantrum, runs over to tell everybody that this is pointless. We're not playing games anymore.
They finished the game, though.
They finished the game, which is kind of crazy, but they knew at that point that they weren't going to play any more games, and they may play no more. They may play the playoffs and leave the seeding the way it is.
Which is fine. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Well, one thing is it might get worse. I mean, it might be more players with the
virus.
No,
that's what I'm saying. So I think it's the right decision.
When you listen to Fauci, and who doesn't? I mean, he's everywhere all the time, and he's a very kind of dire, he gives you the worst case scenario, right? I mean, he sits there and says, essentially, we're all going to die. That's what Fauci does every day to kind of scare you. Oh my God!
Is this a nickname? Did I miss something?
Anybody?
Who's Fauci? Do you know who Fauci is?
Yeah, it's a doctor.
Doctor? Is he a celebrity doctor?
Isn't he the?
He's the doctor who's on TV every freaking day for hours talking about this virus.
Trump's doctor.
Every day, not Trump's doctor. He's the head of the NIH. He's the guy.
Oh, the guy that testified in front of Congress.
The guy who's on TV doing a press conference every day, telling you the latest.
Yeah.
He's got a nickname now, Fauci?
That's his name.
His
name is Fauci?
Fauci is last name.
I didn't know that. I thought the guy with the gray hair, the short guy?
You've been on that island?
That guy. Whatever his name is. I didn't know we were on a first-name basis.
It's not his first name.
On a last-name basis.
Dr. Fauci.
Don't you think Fauci's kind of that name? You just call him Fauci?
The only doctor I think of with Trump is that guy, Dr. Ronnie, what's his name, that said that Trump's in the top 1%.
But anyway...
Ronnie Jackson.
Have you been trapped in courtrooms? Is that your excuse?
Apparently, yes. Actually, yes. I spent a lot of time in Attleboro.
Turn on your toaster. You'll see Dr. Fauci and talking about this and telling you that you're going to die. As he said yesterday, it's going to get worse. He promises us every day it's going to get worse, and he's right. And then Trump goes on and says it might not get worse, and then it's like this vicious cycle. Fauci says it'll get worse. Trump says it might not, and then the media, or not the media, but Don Lemon, Jim Acosta, the New York Times, the Boston Globe says Trump's not a leader. Trump's lying.
That's not nearly as big as the deal as calling it the Wuhan virus, though.
Yeah, no.
Hold
on. I don't know if we're allowed to do that. I don't know if we're allowed to do this. I bet you they've already been told, like on sports radio. You can't call it the Chinese coronavirus, but it takes a lot. It takes a few extra syllables. I'd like to call it the China coronavirus every reference, or the Wuhan virus, but it does take up, that's a lot of words that we don't need. But occasionally I require you and anybody to call it the Chinese coronavirus or the Wuhan flu because it emanated from China. But we'll get to that. This is the third... I'm going to put it on a list. Since I've been, a grown man, the third craziest, wildest, most serious, somber day in my career. Number one, obviously, is 9/11. I was sitting there when the planes went into the tower. We were watching on TV in the radio studio. The marathon bombing was bigger to us because it was Boston, and they were near where our studio was where they were searching for Tsarnaev or chasing him down, and it was wild. For a couple of days, we were on lockdown, kind of like the country of Italy right now. We were on lockdown. You were told by Governor Deval Patrick
I was right there when
to shelter in place.
I was about 100 yards from where the bomb went off.
Which bomb?
The second one.
Were you?
Yeah, because my brother ran the marathon that day. I went to
Did he finish before it went off?
Yeah, because he ran like 2:53.
Jeez.
So I went to Heartbreak Hill. I met him on mile 21. I ran. That was back when you could just jump in the race. I ran him in the final 5 miles.
You did?
And then we got lunch at the Prudential Center, which overlooks
You ran
mile
the
26.
final 5 miles
Yeah.
before the bomb went off.
Yeah, we got an hour and a half before. So we're sitting there eating lunch, and all of a sudden you hear the first one go off.
Weasel. You crossed the finish. Did you hold your arm?
I've run the whole Boston Marathon twice without registering. Without registering, you just jump in.
Oh, you know what?
It's called banditing. It's a
I
Boston
understand what
Marathon
banditing is, but running the last 5 miles, did you hold your arms up and celebrate? When
it was just fun. It was a good day.
Did you celebrate when you crossed the line?
No, we didn't celebrate.
Well, your brother's allowed to. Stupid. He finished.
Yeah,
you didn't.
Well, I still got a medal. And I gave it away to some guy.
They gave you a medal?
No, they give everyone a medal. So you take it.
I understand.
I'm
they
walking
give
around
the
Boston,
contestants.
and I did my good deed that day. I found some guy from Montana he didn't get to finish the race because of the bomb. He was lost, and I said, "Here, sir, I'd like to give you the medal."
Good, because you obviously didn't earn it.
And now I'm going to heaven for that. Yes, I earned nothing.
Wow, that's Turtle Boy.
Some might call that heroic. I wouldn't disagree.
I'd put you right up there with, I don't know, the real heroes of the
Ayanna
day,
Presley.
Like Dr. Fauci.
They're going to start
Fauci,
giving you credit in the Globe now because that just humanized you. That just made you a good guy.
Yes. No, they're going to rat you out for being
They're going to go find the guy. Yeah. They're going to go find the guy.
Speaking of which, the next thing that's going to be canceled is the Boston Marathon. We're recording this morning. I'm not sure when you're listening to this. It's probably already canceled. But if you have a doubt, a question like what's happened to that event or that sport, just assume it's canceled because even first of all, it might be wise. It might be prudent to cancel it. Secondly, even if it's not, there's a copycat thing going on and everybody's afraid to hold an event. Colleges, someone has to explain this to me. You got a college, say UMass Amherst, out in the wilderness, out in Western Mass. These kids are not vulnerable. They're young, they're healthy. If they get the virus, they will recover in a matter of days. You cancel school the rest of the semester. You send them off to faraway places. Hell, Harvard did it. Half the students probably go abroad. They go.
Now they can't get back in.
They can't go. Right, that's a good thing. But so they go to faraway places where they are more vulnerable. Rather than being in a gathering of young people, young, healthy people, they're going to go places. Maybe, hell, they'll go to visit their grandparents at a nursing home.
Time out.
Maybe they'll go to Europe or Asia.
So we canceled travel to Europe, correct?
I think we canceled travel back from Europe, first of all.
So if I'm in Africa, can I come in?
That's a good question. You can for now. Asia, you can't come from China. I believe you can from Africa, but not for now.
If you were in France and wanted to come back to the United States, couldn't you just go to Africa first and then go to the United States?
I think it's like
what problem does that solve?
On your passport, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Couldn't you just stay a week and say, now I've been in Morocco on vacation?
The truth is you should cancel travel from everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. Why just Europe?
The amazing thing is when Trump first canceled trips from China, your usual suspects said he was racist, another travel ban based on your ethnicity or nationality. He should have done it sooner, and it should have been more across the board. Do we all agree? There should be no room for politics or no room for compassion. No. I mean, the compassion is for the citizens of the U.S.
Yes.
Correct? Who cares? If someone can't fly in here from Liechtenstein, who cares?
Yeah,
you're not allowed.
Temporary.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, stay where you are.
Either this is an emergency or
it's not.
You either do it full. You don't do it half-assed. You can't just cancel the NBA and not the NHL, right? You can't just say, well, we're going to allow people to come in from Mexico, but not Europe. That doesn't make any sense at all. Telling you, what's coming next, you're going to see like bridge blockades. Like, suppose it starts spreading in Manhattan. You got to blockade the bridges.
Well, they've
right?
already done it. New Rochelle is blockaded. You're not allowed in or out of New Rochelle.
Rightfully so.
Which and they brought in the
that
National
connects what,
Guard.
Connecticut to New York, right?
They brought in the National Guard to make sure people aren't leaving because there's over 100 cases. So you're right, blockades, which is right out of whatever movie.
It's like it's right out of the Watertown manhunt. When they shut the city down, that's what the whole country will be like, right? I mean,
yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the next step. I mean, the one thing that to me is assuring or gives you some kind of comfort or confidence is that in China it is allegedly, petering out. Mm-hmm. There are more people in China who've recovered from the Chinese coronavirus than have it. So there are thousands and thousands of people that had it and recovered. It started in November, so it's only been 5 months, and now they have more people who've recovered than actually have it. The problem is that the vulnerable people, the old people, the sick people, are going to die. They're going to die if you get it and you're in a nursing home, like that nursing home in Seattle that's lost I don't know how many people now with the latest, but dozens. They get it, they're going to die, which is tragic. But if you get it and you're 18 years old, you're not going to die. Lindsey Graham went on last night. I think he was on with Hannity, and he said no one in the world under 30 has died.
Is that true? Is that documented?
I'm just telling you. I'm attributing it to a person. I don't know. Why don't you look it up? You're the reporter.
I don't know. I saw your tweet. I learned everything from your Twitter feed.
Yeah, so I learned it. Well, obviously I didn't state it as fact on my part. I said this is what Lindsey Graham just said, that no one under 30 in the world has died. So it's clearly, age.
Have you run it by Snopes?
I'm not sure.
They're completely unbiased, as you know.
Right.
Non-left-wing fact-checking
or
organization.
PolitiFact. Here's someone just tweeted this at me. Per CDC, as of March 3rd, the fatality rate in China was 1.3% in people over 50, 0.4% in 40s, people in their 40s, 0.2% in people 10 to 39. So they killed somebody over 30, I assume, but somebody under 30? Maybe not. Maybe nobody in the world under 30. But Fauci...
They could also have health problems on their own.
Right.
That's like I keep saying as a joke, I have asthma, but it could screw me over.
You never stop complaining about your asthma, do you?
No,
you always use it as an excuse.
I brought my inhaler.
When the coach made you run a lap, you'd say, but
no,
coach,
that was
asthma.
a problem. I didn't come out of the game, and then when I had an asthma attack, I didn't know it, and I almost died.
You weren't in the game.
I almost died.
What sports did you play?
Hockey.
He played goalie, though. He didn't play hockey.
Yeah. Those are like real sports that I played. But growing up, growing up with bad asthma, I played basketball, hockey, baseball, all the sports. But I'm just saying, I never came out of the game. And
How
then,
does asthma affect you?
And then I built up a tolerance, and I had an asthma attack.
Okay. So far, nobody under 30 has died, and maybe no one will. Maybe it's that kind of thing, that you have to be old, sick, vulnerable to succumb to this, which is awful, awful. But if you cancel the Final Four again, and they're going to play without fans, we believe, right? They're going to play the whole NCAA tournament without fans.
Looks like it.
Those fans are 19 years old. Those fans are
I
not
disagree.
vulnerable.
You're wrong.
If those fans get sick, they go home.
I heard you saying that the other day.
Wrong about what?
That the fans at the NCAA tournament games are 19. What are you talking about?
I'm saying most of them are young.
No,
yes,
they're
they
not.
are.
No,
yes,
they're not. No, they're not.
Are you the only one who's seen an NCAA game?
Yes.
Of course they are.
Every time you see an NCAA game, there's a especially a tournament game, there's a small student section, and the rest is old guys in their Louisville sweaters.
That's not
from
true.
1968.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
First of all, so what?
Everybody looks like Bobby Knight.
How about
the
this?
whole crowd?
How about this? You just let the fans in. Why not that? I mean, the students in. Just students. How's that?
That's fine. That's age discrimination, Jerry.
Yes, I want to age discriminate. There are places that should be very, very careful, and there are places who are overreacting. It can be both.
That's actually not a bad idea.
It can
just
be
like
both.
Kids
They are overreacting on college campuses. They are overreacting in college sports. Now, as soon as a player like Rudy Gobert tests positive, it changes everything. Right now, we know Gobert has been around. He was just on a 4 or 5 game.
30, yeah.
He just was on a 4 or 5 game road trip. Gobert will recover. Yeah. He'll recover, but who will he give it to? Is the question.
We're all carriers.
All of us. Asshole was right across the street from us.
Rudy Gobert was in Boston March 6th.
Oh, great.
With the Jazz. He went and practiced at Emerson College So he brought it over there. He went out to eat. I'm still trying to figure out if anyone knows what restaurant he went to. I'm sure the restaurant is hoping we don't find out, but he went out to eat somewhere around here. I assume somewhere in the North End or
was it at a Chinese restaurant?
Of course not.
No.
You can't go to a Chinese restaurant.
You can't not go to a Chinese restaurant because that's racist.
We'll get to AOC, the pride of BU. And by the way, as I tweeted, BU should cancel the rest of the semester, not because of the virus, just out of sheer embarrassment.
They should shut down.
That this person graduated with a degree in economics. They should shut down.
They call her the smile.
You know what? They should build a friggin' Walmart and close the whole place down. They gave her an economics degree, and she is dumber than Reamer. He got one too. Not
she's the thought leader.
Yeah, she's and she's going to be
thought leader.
And she's going to be for the next 40 years. So get ready. But to me, the most jarring thing in a weird way was Tom Hanks's little missive that he sent out and said, "Hey, we're positive, we're doing everything we got to do," and you're saying, "Holy crap!" I can't think of anybody who seemed more above it all.
Yeah.
Just above everything. Like. I used to. There used to be a reporter from Worcester, Mary Shane, covered the Celtics, and she said she was deathly afraid to fly. Very, very nice woman, but she said she wouldn't mind. She didn't mind to fly with the team because she goes. I never forget. She goes, "I don't think any plane with Larry Bird on it's going to go down."
Yeah,
and that gave her a sense of self-assurance that if Bird's on the plane, we'll be fine.
Why?
Oh, Jesus, work with me, Turtle
No,
Boy.
I get your point. That like, as long as celebrities are involved, you're going to be okay. But then, like the Tom Hanks thing, he's like a special celebrity. Right? Like nothing should ever happen to Tom Hanks.
Kobe Bryant? Literally?
Tom Hanks is like...
I can't think... He is a special celebrity. Can you just shut up for a second?
I can't.
I'm going to work
you have
with
here to talk.
He's going to work with talent here.
I'm going to work with Cullinan on this. There are special celebrities. Who else would you put in that category? I was going to say Clint Eastwood, but he's too old now. He's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like a younger Clint Eastwood, you'd say... You know what? We'll be okay. Clint's here.
Yeah, maybe like Leonardo DiCaprio.
There might be some athletes.
Yeah.
And I know Kobe Bryant's retired. He wasn't playing. He was like old news. There might be some athletes. Tom Brady.
Yes.
Tom Brady. If I'm on a plane and Brady's up there first class, I'm saying we'll be okay. Maybe it's because I feel like the airlines will take care of us, and if there was they would never take any chances. They wouldn't fly through a storm.
How did Roberto Clemente die? Thurman Munson? How did these people die?
I don't put them in the. I don't. You okay. Are you missing something?
Roberto Clemente.
You put Thurman Munson in the same category as Tom Hanks.
What's the male version of America's Sweetheart? Like Tom Hanks is important. Let's put it that way.
It used to be Meryl Streep till she covered up for Harvey Weinstein, and then she lost all her swagger. But there are certain
Tom
people.
Hanks America's Sweetheart.
What's the male version of America's Sweetheart?
Jesus
for once, I'm on Dave Cullinan's
Name
side.
one
He's
person that doesn't
right.
like Tom Hanks.
There are certain celebrities who are above it.
I don't care for him. He didn't.
Really?
He's the one that didn't laugh during the Ricky Gervais thing.
Did you not like the movie You've Got Mail? It's literally the best rom-com of all time.
That's the first one you think
it's
of.
It's the best rom-com of all time.
The best Tom Hanks movie of all time is Bachelor Party.
No, Tom Hanks was the star of Saving Private Ryan, you idiots. And I like Castaway. I love Forrest Gump. Those are great movies. He's the best. He's an icon.
Paul, listen, I'm thinking of taking the morning off sick. You cover the fort for me?
What is that? What did you just play?
I don't know. I just played a Tom Hanks drop. Sorry. What's wrong with that?
Is that from You've Got Mail?
No, I don't know what movie
God
that's
help
from.
us. But he is one of those people.
Watch The Bachelor.
He's one of those people who I feel like they're above it. And you know what? They're the kind of people that you don't think are going to die in a car accident or get a brain tumor. They're just going to live to their golden years and be this icon until the very end. He's one of them. I'm not looking for an argument, by the way, Turtle.
I am. I completely disagree.
Well, you're wrong.
If you think that these people are somehow you can't kill them, they're indestructible.
Okay,
what fantasy world are you living
in? Hey, listen, stupid. That's the whole point. I felt like he was one of those people. I don't anymore. He has the coronavirus. He has the Chinese. Actually, he has the Australian.
The coronavirus changed your opinion on this. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for
now you tell
waking
me.
you up.
Yeah, but then you hear his son talk, and you're like, maybe it's not that big of a deal.
There's a lot of
Look
those.
at him. Look at there's Rudy Gobert touching
everything. Rudy Gobert mocking.
That's too good.
If you haven't seen it, this video of Gobert the other day mocking the precautions people took. They were staying, 5 feet away from him, and delousing everything, or whatever they do, disinfecting everything, and then he touched everything to mock that whole process. and now he's tested positive. You're right. He's young and healthy. He'll be fine. Okay, tough guy, tell me when it hits you that this stuff is real now.
Oh, it hit me yesterday once they canceled the NBA. I mean, that was the big thing.
Yeah, but you kind of knew they were canceling stuff all along. Didn't you kind of know?
But
you know
it
what?
was in weird
I'll
states.
say, I agree with you on this because when they said Gobert tested positive and you see video and you say, holy cow, the players have it.
Right.
That's not just a precaution. That's not just like Harvard or like there are countries that are shutting down even though there's not one single case. There was a country in the middle, in Central America, shut down everything. They don't have a single case.
Uruguay?
That's South America, but
Central.
one of them.
Belize. They're really good with it down there in Belize. They have great immigration
Belize,
policy.
Yes. If you're on an island, you feel pretty good, don't you? If you're
It's
on
not
some
an island. It's not an
Belize
island.
is an island.
Belize is not an island.
Christ.
Jeez, he thinks Belize is an island. Belize next to Guatemala.
Oh, that's everything's an island, right?
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
It's all the same.
They shut
to
it
you, huh?
down.
Okay.
They shut it down. Wherever it is, Belize. That's where guys. That's where people go to retire and hide their.
No, it's
money.
not at all. Not Belize. What country are you thinking of?
Belize is a
Belize.
beautiful-
Nobody retires in Belize.
Yes, they do. They literally.
What
I don't know, but they retire. I went there on a cruise once.
Who the
Stop
hell
there.
retires in Belize?
Yeah, I don't think anyone retires
No.
in Belize. It's
The
kinda-
That was
trendy
John
country
Dennis.
in
My
Central
old
America is
partner,
Costa Rica.
John Dennis was ready to retire there. He had picked out a house down there. He was ready to go.
In Belize.
It's a good tax shelter. But anyway, would you stop? God, you have.
You think it's an island. I
feel like
can't
I'm
believe you think
talking to-
Belize is an island.
I feel like I'm talking to Toby, my dog. Do you have the capability?
You're the one that thinks Belize
Do you have the
is an
ability
island.
to focus here?
I can't get
All right,
over
I'm going to
it.
ask Dave
Okay.
Cullinane.
Yes.
At what point yesterday did you say, "Holy crap, this stuff is real"?
I agree with Turtle Boy. NBA can't suspending the season was just kind of like holy shit.
And then Trump. No, that was after Trump implemented the.
That was a
travel
big one
ban.
too. Trump set the tone with that.
Trump set the tone
Yeah.
because and when Trump does it, it has more of an impact than anything because the reaction is automatically negative. Not from everybody, but from certain segments, certain corners of the population. They'll say that was a terrible idea. I mean, Trump literally, as he says, he could cure coronavirus tomorrow. And the usual suspects on CNN will say he put the Purell people out of business, and what a cruel move. I mean, he could do nothing right. When they come on and literally say he's showing no leadership, I say, what are you talking about? You could disagree with whatever he does or says, but he's out front and center every day answering questions, except from CNN, and talking about it. He's literally, his face is literally out there every day as a way to show that he's on top of it. Whether you agree with the moves he makes or shutting down travel from China or from Europe, you'd be wrong, but at least you'd be able to say, I disagree with this. To say he's showing no leadership, what's he supposed to do?
No,
to keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will...
Here's what would have made last night even more jarring, even more frightening, if you will, is if he started coughing. He lost his breath a couple times. If he started coughing or sneezing, the whole country would be in panic mode right now. Not that we're not close, but the country would shut down. We would be Italy. There would be 300 million people quarantined today if Trump was hacking and coughing, and we'd be waiting for the test. And if he tested positive, which could happen, he's old, he's vulnerable. He was out the other day shaking hands at a rope line, and people tweeted out the video and said, "Hey, he's not afraid," but he's out there. He still meets thousands of people a day. I mean, I think I'm fairly
Not anymore.
I think I'm fairly safe. I don't have any friends. I don't, all I interact with
Can't understand why.
is you and Cullinane.
Yeah, and I wiped down this whole area, by the
If
way.
you think
before
Belize
got
is
there.
an island, nobody's going to want to hang out with
Jesus.
you.
You know what?
Just
I'm going to
saying.
cut this part out when we're done recording. Who gives a shit about Belize?
You, apparently.
Okay, what do you want it to be? You want it to be a country? You said in South America, right?
Yeah, it's landlocked.
Okay, it's a country. It's landlocked.
Well, it has a
country in
coast,
South America.
but
well, then it wouldn't be landlocked.
Okay,
Stupid.
but it's like it's not surrounded by water.
It's not surrounded. Where is it?
It's in Central America.
Okay, we all agree.
Next to Guatemala.
We all agree. It's in Central America and it's landlocked.
Okay, we're good.
Can we move on?
We can move on. We're good.
Yesterday, Trump did a fine job. As I tweeted out, he didn't say anything outrageous, inane, or self-serving. And anybody who says otherwise is lying or completely overwhelmed with Trump derangement syndrome, completely obsessed with the evil orange man. You can't, in this serious situation where the whole country is gripped and the whole country is concerned, you can't sit there and nitpick and say, he misspoke about something, or he's only in it for himself, or he's lying. I mean, he's just reading a teleprompter for whatever it was, 15 minutes.
Yeah, but you realize when he reads something wrong from a teleprompter that it has implications.
Like what?
The trade and cargo line that he screwed up sent stock futures plummeting because investors were all worried about it.
Okay, so what is that? Because he's self-serving? Is that because
he screwed up. So to your point,
Would you text mute right now or something?
No, I'm just saying. He
watched CNN.
He sends a report. He corrects
futures,
it after.
What do you know? What are you, an analyst?
Look at the stock market the last few days.
It's
actually an issue.
He when it's over, literally 2 minutes later, you go to CNN, which I forgot to do. I should have. I stayed on Fox and Hannity broke it down with all the Congressman Lindsey Graham, Steve Scalise. I should have gone to CNN one channel up just to watch these lunatics, lose their minds. Don Lemon lost his mind with John
Kasich.
Yes.
Jesus.
And he wouldn't let Kasich said Trump did a fine job. He doesn't like Trump. He's another Trump. He said it
didn't
was
even
fine.
get a chance to say it. It's like him just yanking
and Don Lemon
over.
ripped his face off. But Acosta was the best. Acosta was on with
that was like that's the
Fredo.
Audio version of Caps Lock. What happened yesterday? Like Jesus.
That's when Lemon always. But so Fredo Cuomo comes on. He's got Acosta. The biggest asshole in the Washington press corps, and immediately after this news that there's a travel ban, that Tom Hanks has got the sick, that the NBA is closing down, the whole country is in the grips of this Chinese coronavirus. Let's hear Acosta's initial reaction.
The president referred to the coronavirus as a, quote, foreign virus. That I think was interesting because as I was talking to sources earlier this evening, one of the points that the president wanted to make tonight, wanted to get across to Americans, is that this virus did not start here, but that they're dealing with it. Now, why the president would go as far as to describe it as a foreign virus, that is something we'll also be asking questions about.
Why?
But it should be pointed out that Stephen Miller, who is an immigration hardliner who advises the president, is one of his top domestic policy advisors and speechwriters, was a driving force in writing the speech. And I think it's going to it's going to come across to a lot of Americans as smacking of xenophobia, to use that kind of term in the speech, Chris.
All right. This is literally, you don't have the exact time this one. It was literally less than 5 minutes after Trump wrapped up the speech. Again, I would put this number 3 on my list of nights that felt really serious, really dire. Not a time for obviously political nitpicking, joking around. The country is on lockdown, kind of like the marathon bombing, or not quite like 9/11, but very serious. This nitwit, his first reaction is this might come across as xenophobic because he said it came from China. First question to you two geniuses. Where'd this virus emanate from?
You're not allowed to say.
No.
I can't say it.
Am I missing something? I think I stay on top of the news pretty well. Am I missing something? Is this in real dispute? I mean, Rush Limbaugh has a theory that it came from a lab in the Wuhan province. That it might be, a bioweapon.
They left the General Sow sauce out for too long,
or they, it comes from
I think that's what happened.
It comes from grilled bat.
General Sow flavored bat.
But does anybody dispute that it came from the country of China?
Well,
nobody's disputing that.
So it's not factually incorrect.
No.
So, we know it came from China. There's a lot of questions about how China handled it. There's lots of theories that China could have done better, should have done better, should have notified the world months earlier.
Are you and Tucker? Do you think this is a conspiracy?
No, the conspiracy to destroy the United States.
Yeah, you think the Chinese
I'm not there yet.
This is revenge.
I'm not there yet. But that's not as crazy as saying...
I wouldn't hold it above. I'd say 50-50.
That, to me, that's not as crazy as saying it's xenophobic to say it came from China. And again, these lunatics, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Jim Acosta, Don Lemon, these hard left lunatics think that there are other Americans, real swaths of America that sit there and go, oh my goodness. I mean, people in whatever, Michigan or Utah or California going... Did he just say it came from China?
And honestly,
did he just say it came from China?
That is the big reason up until yesterday.
Racist.
That's the big reason up until yesterday that I honestly wasn't taking that seriously. I'm like, if we're still talking about is it racist to call it the Wuhan virus, then how serious can it possibly be?
That's a good question.
Issue.
That's the whole point, Turtle Boy. Is I felt this was a very serious moment, which is when if you're on a cable news network,
so that shit needs to end.
Or
a serious,
and you think. That this isn't even an hour later, which would have been
you retweeted Jim Acosta on January 23rd. You just retweeted this.
Right.
He calls it the Wuhan coronavirus.
Did you hear this on Tucker last night? Did you hear this on Tucker last night? Let me play this. Watch this.
Just a month ago, the American media thought nothing of calling the virus what it actually is. Watch this.
The Wuhan coronavirus has now surpassed the 2003 SARS outbreak.
The first U.S. case of Chinese coronavirus was confirmed at one of her hospitals.
Inside that building is the world's first lab-grown copy of the Wuhan coronavirus outside mainland China.
The Chinese coronavirus death toll has jumped to at least 26 people.
The death toll from the Wuhan coronavirus spiked today.
The Chinese virus, the coronavirus that is worrying the whole world.
This comes as the Chinese coronavirus death toll has jumped to at least 26 people.
I mean, that's Mika, right? Okay, that could go on for hours.
And Acosta himself, a month and a half ago, Acosta said the Chinese coronavirus. Again, I would use it in every reference, but it adds a lot of syllables. We all know it came from China. We all know the Chinese Communist government mishandled it. How possibly could it be your first reaction to the president's Oval Office address that it might, quote, come across as xenophobic? First of all,
come across
most of America doesn't even know what that means.
Yeah.
So xenophobic? That he called it the Chinese coronavirus or said it came from the Wuhan province? Our whole lives we've talked about whatever, German measles, the Spanish flu, Ebola, everything comes from somewhere. Generally, these epidemics are labeled by the place from which they emanated.
If this virus started in Worcester, do you think they call it the Worcester virus?
No, they'd probably one of the suburbs.
Enough viruses have started in Worcester, by the way. Yeah. But I think they would have no problem calling it that because it's American. Problem. They can hate America and blame America.
That is true.
So it's very fashionable.
If it came from like down south, they would call it the redneck virus,
the Bama virus. Yeah.
But this was Acosta, and then Don Lemon went nuts on Kasich because Kasich said Trump did a fine job. But the funniest of all this was before the speech, granted, but a actual member of Congress who represents the slums of New York City, who who graduated an economics degree from Boston University, which shut down yesterday. My theory is they shut down out of embarrassment more than the virus, because this is their girl. This is a BU grad who'll soon be, by the way, speaking of graduation, she's going to get bigger and more famous. She's not going to get smarter. We don't have to worry about that. My theory is she's going to get dumber because she gets more emboldened. She feels like what she's... Tell me this. Have you ever heard someone mispronounce or use words wrong and do it with more confidence? I mean, she thinks she's so smart,
which
brilliant,
is the beauty of her.
Which is why it's so funny. But let's hear the one and only AOC talking about this, not the virus, the xenophobia and the racism that has come along with the virus.
Honestly, it sounds almost so silly to say, but there's a lot of restaurants that are feeling the pain of racism, where people are literally not patroning Chinese restaurants. They're not patroning Asian restaurants because of just straight up racism around the coronavirus. So
if you don't go out for Japanese,
they're not patroning.
Yeah, patroning.
I say this all the time.
You better go off of sushi or else you're
like when
racist.
Trump tweets. And by the way, when Trump does a good speech, and his speech last night was good. He wasn't spectacular. It wasn't, memorable. It was good. It was fine. To use case, he said what he had to say. Talked about helping small business, repealing the payroll tax, helping people who might be struggling paying their bills because of this crisis. He touched all the talking points. He did a good job. Don't you think the natural follow-up to this, if you're one of his people, one of his handlers, maybe his daughter, maybe his sons, you say, Dad, here's an idea. Why don't we put the iPhone away for 24 hours? Why don't we just let that marinate in people's minds? You look like a leader. You look presidential. If you start tweeting about the New York Times not giving you credit or CNN being fake news, you look like a child. Is that asking too much?
Yes, it is, actually.
Has he tweeted yet since the speech?
I was just going to search for
check.
Him. But that is the ultimate crux of the Trump presidency, right. Is that without Twitter, he would probably have like a 60% approval rate.
He would be much better off. It is remarkable how well he's done when you consider the media is 99% against him, and he thinks the answer to the media is to tweet. To me, their Twitter's a positive force, but it's other people, including his son and all the people around him and all the Republican congressmen who are good tweeters and senators and all the pundits. He sucks on Twitter, and my friends, Trump supporting friends hate when I say that, but I cringe every time he tweets, and I hope he can make it through this initial phase of this crisis without tweeting something.
Mostly retweets, by the way. Retweeting blue check marks who are saying good things about him.
Good.
77% of Americans are confident in his ability to handle it. Is that true? Where do they get that?
Who
number?
cares? That's close
There's no way
enough.
you could get 77% of Americans to say
agree on
anything nice about Trump. No way.
But AOC thinks if you don't go to a Chinese restaurant, and by the way, AOC, they're not patroning any restaurants. That's the problem. People aren't going out to eat. People aren't congregating. Do you know it's illegal in? Is it Washington or Northern California? I think it's in the Seattle area. It's illegal to have a congregation of more than
250 people.
Yeah, I think it's smaller than that now. And that means
the Tampa Bay Rays can still hold games.
That means the Red Sox can still hold spring training games.
Yeah.
But you can't. The Catholic Church or any church can't have a mass.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, it's okay if you're a Muslim, you could still gather at your mosque. But if you're a Catholic church, they're going to kick in the doors and arrest everybody, or at least arrest the priest who holds a church, who holds a mass. But and to me, the crazy thing is when you think about the temporary travel ban or the temporary hold on NBA, why is it temporary? We keep hearing from Dr. Fauci, that would be the doctor who speaks to the media every day with the Mike Pence task force.
I'm familiar with
that guy, little fella?
Yes, little guy.
Little fella who says every day we're all going to die. His job is to give you the worst case scenario.
Yes.
He says it's not getting better anytime soon, which means none of these things are necessarily temporary. I mean, you're not going to have a temporary cancellation of the NBA the NBA only goes till June.
Luckily, I gave up the NBA for Lent. So this worked out quite well for me. Yes. This is very convenient.
Really?
Yes.
I gave up hugging, kissing people for Lent.
Holding hands.
Yeah.
High fives.
I have holding hands or high five. But you know what I've done that's kind of weird? That it's kind of changed our habits. I wash my hands after I go to the bathroom now. I never did that.
Now?
That's a smart idea, actually. Yeah.
I
wish I was doing that all along.
I do no hands. Do you have to wash your hands if you don't use your hands?
You have to.
Do now.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's a bathroom.
No, but before. If you go into the bathroom, you unzip, no touch. You ever do
I don't think it just falls right out.
Are you required to? You can do it. Absolutely.
I don't think another person, another Fauci or Trump or Pence has to tell me to wash my hands. I think we're good. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everyone good.
We're good.
We're good. Everyone knows they got to wash their hands. If they do or not, that's up to them. But everyone knows it's smart. It's smart not to shake hands. It's smart not to
wash your hands.
Suck face.
Clean often used surfaces. Cover your face and mouth if you sneeze or cough.
I'm glad he threw that. Yeah, I didn't know to cover my mouth.
Would you guys agree that if he coughed or sneezed, there'd be panic in the streets?
That would be crazy.
It would look like World War Z today in the streets.
Did you see the AOC press conference she held, and when she said, please don't touch your face. In the interview, they counted. She touched her face 7 or 8 times.
Oh, really?
During the interview, because she kept doing this, pushing her hair back.
Yeah.
She's touching her face.
So she says, Elon Omar says, most of the Bernie bros say it's racist to call it the Chinese coronavirus or to not go to a Chinese restaurant. I'm going to guess, I haven't been to Chinatown since this all broke.
Can't be good for the economy.
In China, I'm going to guess the restaurant, and there's a few of them in Chinatown where I have this stuff hanging in the window. No, it's America, so they're chickens. They're not, wombats or
wombats are Australian.
Or cats, or rats or bats, but they're chickens, I think, or ducks. They're things that people eat around here, like routinely. I'm going to guess they took those things down. Just going to guess.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to guess they don't put them back up anytime soon.
Although, I'll tell you one thing. The most woke thing you can do right now, if you're a hipster from Cambridge trying to show that you like diversity, is go out for Chinese.
Ooh.
And then selfie yourself there. Post it on Instagram.
Oh, is it?
I would assume so, right?
I would do that.
So you're not discriminating,
I love Chinese food. It's not going to stop me from going to, why?
Stop my family. My family voted against it. Yeah,
voted against what?
Sunday dinner. We have takeout, and it's always an option.
They voted against it for what?
For the coronavirus.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, specifically.
We were supposed to go to a bachelor party this weekend in Burlington. We canceled it.
Yeah.
Not because I'm afraid of getting it, but because I'm not driving 3.5 hours. We get up there, and the governor declares a state of emergency, and all the bars are closed.
with you.
And you have to stay. No one on the roads.
It's going to hurt the lap dancing.
We were supposed to have a debate watch party.
We
were supposed to have a debate watch party on Sunday. It's canceled now.
We have to.
We have to.
It is not canceled.
It's canceled.
It
is on.
Zero.
We are. It is on. We're not afraid.
First of all, there should be no debate. If there's a debate, Joe Biden is a coward.
Okay, I want to get to that. Get to your take, because you seem a little unhinged today.
I am unhinged.
You spent the day in court yesterday.
Tuesday. A great day in court.
Tuesday.
Another
spent
victory.
the day in court Tuesday. You had a great victory, but you're still a little unhinged. Why did you decide you were canceling my party? I haven't heard this.
Well, it's coronavirus. Everything's
so
going to cancel. I just figured.
Not only I know that'll make parking easier. Although did you see who's playing across the street? Fabulous.
Fabulous is playing.
Fabulous.
Now, when he plays, does that get out to some of the?
He's still a thing.
Gangsters? Do they show up?
He had some
Fabulous
hits.
is never a gangster.
He's not a gangster.
No, he's a
really,
pop musician.
I know, but Bill O'Reilly hated Fabulous.
Oh,
but
he did?
Anyway, we're still on for Sunday night. Turtle Boy, you're still invited. There's one requirement, even of Dave Cullinane, who's kind of a puss. We're all going to drink Corona because we're not afraid. Corona is a good company, I assume. I don't even know, but people are bailed on Corona. They're going to shut the company down soon. No one is buying or drinking Corona because of the virus. That's insane.
Who named it? Who named it coronavirus?
That
doesn't sound like a Chinese name.
It's shaped like a crown. Corona means crown, and the virus thing, that red thing you see on all the stories, that's a crown-shaped virus.
That's how you say crown in Chinese, Corona?
Not Chinese. I think it's Spanish, isn't it? Or is it some, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who the hell knows?
I was going to wash my hands with a Corona beer this morning and take a video of it. You think that would have went viral?
If you wash your hands and get Corona?
You think so?
Anyway.
No, first of all, that's racist against Mexicans.
I don't want to talk about Belize anymore. No more.
Yeah.
But I want to get your take on Biden. And we need to celebrate. Oftentimes, I know you do this, criticize judges. We spend a lot of time criticizing judges. We must salute a judge, a jurist.
In Attleboro District Court.
No,
right?
we'll salute a couple judges.
Right.
One in New York, one in New York City, one in Attleboro, where all the great judges work and live. But first, let's talk about Shea Concrete. Am I doing Shea right here, Dave?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do Shea. This is for you, homeowners and home builders. I got to make sure the Shea crowd shows up Sunday night for our party. They're not afraid. They're real men, real women. They're tough, hard-working people. They'll be here Sunday night. Anyway, I'm speaking directly to homeowners, directly to home builders. How can you get more out of the home you're buying, the home you're building? How can you increase its value? I got a way. Whether it's a new home, an old home that needs a little work, my brother-in-law, Greg, and the good folks at Shea Concrete, they can help you out. They get great values, designs for any new home. New stairs. Here's where you start. New stairs. That means they don't even have to go in. Don't touch the inside of your house. Don't bother you while you're self-quarantined. They could come outside, get rid of the old stairs, bring in some new stairs in concrete, stone, granite, or brick. They will dramatically upgrade the front entrance of your home. In most cases, they can bring the new ones in and get the old ones out of there within hours. One day, new stairs. Your home is worth more. Your home looks better. What a great spring project. Learn more about Shea's precast concrete steps at SheaConcrete.com or give them a call. Tell them I sent you. Ask for Greg. sheaconcrete.com. All right, I'm going to tell you about Blue Chews, too. About Blue Chews, our friends from Blue Chews. This episode of the Callahan Podcast is sponsored by Blue Chews. Guys, I'm talking to you. Remember those days when you were always ready to go? You know what I'm talking about. Even you young guys like Cullinane.
I'm always ready to go. Coronavirus is not stopping me.
I don't know. Maybe you have one too many Coronas. Then you might not be ready to go. Well, now you can increase your performance in the bedroom and get that extra confidence you're looking for. Listen up. BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, even on a stomach full of Corona. It's they're chewable. They work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever that special opportunity arises. If you can benefit from more confidence workouts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to a doctor's office and wait in line at the pharmacy. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. That's important. They're made here in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy, and best of all, there's no more awkwardness. That's important for you, Cullinane. You got a lot of awkwardness.
I'm always
this
awkward,
removes the awkwardness.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got a special deal for the listeners of this podcast. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code Callahan. Just pay the $5 shipping. Again, that's Blue Chew, BLUE, BlueChew.com, promo code Callahan to try it free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for supporting this podcast.
Absolutely. 2 versions, by the way. Like, if you know you're going to do it, they got the game day pill, right?
Really?
Or if it's spur of the moment, they got the spur of the moment
You seem to know
pill.
a lot about
I know a
these
lot
Blue
about
Chews.
Blue Chew.
You know a lot about
Blue
Nothing
Chew.
wrong with that.
You get a little product on the side that I don't know about?
Maybe they sent me some stuff. Let's just say that.
You need it. Good. That makes for a good weekend. But I want to get to the sentencing of one Harvey Weinstein that we all want to celebrate.
Yeah.
We now have an answer. Indeed, Harvey Weinstein is going to die in prison. We can all be happy about that. But first, we need yesterday. Was it yesterday? I all but canceled the party. We're having a debate watch party here at the Legacy Club. We're inviting some friends of the show and some co-hosts and our wives and girlfriends. And Reamer can, bring a date too.
Yeah, whatever.
We don't discriminate. We want Reamer here. He's the life of the party. Anyway, so the
Does
party's
he have a boyfriend?
on. I'm not sure. You'll find out Sunday night.
Okay.
He might,
He seems in a better mood lately, so I bet he might.
Seems like a player.
Yeah.
We will find out.
Like
We're going to have a good time. We're going to drink a few Coronas. We're going to watch the debate and have some laughs, because I have a feeling this debate may provide some laughs. And you walk in here today and you say, Biden is such a fool for agreeing to this debate.
Yes.
I think he has to agree to this debate.
Stop
He's
it.
obligated to agree to this debate. It's only March, whatever it is. It's March 12th. You can't suddenly say, I got this one. No. He has not clinched it. He's only got a lead.
He has clinched it. It's over.
He's only got a lead of like 100 and something delegates.
Oh, only. Yeah, definitely. And he just won Michigan by 50 billion points. In Mississippi, 70 to 12 or whatever was the final? 80 to 14, I think.
Mississippi, I think 80 to 14 was the final number.
It's over.
He's in the lead. There's no question.
He should treat it like he is the nominee already. Have the confidence of it. If you go in there and debate, you are legitimizing this as an actual election. It is not. It's over. Joe Biden's the nominee.
If you don't, you're running and hiding.
No, you're not. Donald Trump didn't debate.
You're running and hiding.
He hid from Megyn Kelly, and he's the president. No.
And here's that same night he held a rally.
Yes, that's what Joe Biden. He can't hold
Joe
rallies.
Biden can't hold rallies because he's inept at rallies.
Also,
he'll
coronavirus.
start fighting with them. True.
You should go on Periscope.
This is going to,
have some drinks.
This is going to be. It's not going to have Super Bowl ratings, but it's going to be big because most people are self-quarantined. Most people are trapped inside. On Sunday night, we'll be here at the Legacy Club on our big screen TV watching. It's going to be one-on-one because of Biden insisting they're going to sit down at a table and they're not going to have fans or voters. It's just going to be a CNN panel.
He just doesn't want
Does that mean it's going to be done, Lemon? Can you check that? Because Anderson Cooper generally does these.
He's too unhinged to ever host.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be better that way? He'd start screaming. It'd be, Biden would be yelling. And if they said anything good about Trump, Lemon's head would explode.
It's a CNN one.
If they said whatever he did fine Sunday night, Lemon would lose it. Anyway.
What does Biden have to gain from a debate?
But Biden, here's what he has to gain. Here's what he has to do. He has to assure people that he's fit for office.
He's done that. He just won Michigan by 40 points. I assure you he's done that.
And on the same day, he started yelling at a blue-collar guy with a hard hat
Nobody
on.
cares.
Lying. Sure they do.
Nobody cares.
Here's what he's doing now. He's not running against Bernie. He's running against Trump now. Here's what he's doing.
That's the way he should treat it. I'm running against Donald Trump.
He has to show.
So if he's running against Trump, why is he debating Sanders?
You know what a bad look it'll be if he says, I'm not going to do it? Why? Because
it'll be a great move. It's a power move. It's an alpha male move when you say, I am the nominee. I don't have to debate swine. You're a nobody. Who are you? Like, you're literally polling at half of what I'm polling at. You're not a real candidate
Biden
anymore.
has 838 delegates. Sanders has 691. It's not that much of a blowout.
Stop it.
It's going to
it
be.
Is.
It's going to be. I know. Every state left, or like the next 10 states, Biden has a big lead in the polls. He's going to blow them out. There's no question.
It's over.
But you can't turtle boy on March 12th,
it's a power move.
March
it's an
15th.
Alpha male
you cannot
move.
do it.
That's what you do.
No, because
you're
it
a big
will
shot.
make
you
you
don't
look
punch
like
down.
a coward.
No, it'll make you look like a champion.
And it'll make people around you.
You don't know anything about optics.
And they'll make the people around you look like they're afraid to let you go out in public, which, by the way, they are.
This is why you need a consultant, by the way.
Yeah, I got a consultant.
You know, this is what you would do.
He's right over there.
Yeah, it's like...
He knows where
Joe Biden's consultant.
He knows who Dr. Fauci is, too, for Christ's sake.
Biden's consultant. If I'm him, I'm saying you want to present yourself as the nominee already. You are the man. This guy is nobody. You don't even have to be in the same room with him because he's nobody. He's garbage. Nobody wants him.
Don't listen to him. I already paid for the pizza. We're already in for Sunday night. We're already locked in. You just don't want to come in, huh?
I got a family thing.
You're afraid to face Mute. That's what it is.
Mute's going to be here?
Yeah, Mute's going to be here.
All right, let me say this about Mute.
He asked the first thing he said, I said, you come? And he said, is Turtle Boy going to be here? And I said, yes. He said, I will be there.
He had his best episode
this week.
And only
Go on.
because when he was talking about stocks and finances, then I'm interested because I see Mute. Does he wear a shirt and tie when he's here?
He does, because he goes to work right
I
after.
trust anybody in a shirt and tie with my money. Like, if you're going to... And he's got no hair. He's middle-aged. I would trust that guy with my money. I'm very interested in what he has to say about stocks and stuff. Not so much hot takes about anything else.
Look at you right now.
Mute
takes the high road while you send Turtle Boy quotes after him on Twitter. Mute takes the high road and he says, I read Turtle Boy's stuff this week. That's what he did.
Yes, he did. Because
what a class act.
That's fine.
And he's got...
It's Bernie and Biden. He's Bernie and I'm Biden.
He's got a much better attention span than you do. He focuses.
Well, that's why he's good with money.
Yes, he's smart and he focuses.
That's why he wears pants that require a belt. And everything I own has elastic.
And everything has a picture of a turtle with sunglasses on it. Everything you own, everything you wear. But let's just hope that nobody's listening to Turtle Boy. They do this debate. It's going to be bizarre. Now, my luck, it'll be boring and everyone will, fall asleep, have a couple Coronas, get bored, and leave. I think it's going to be so weird under the circumstances where the rest of the world is quarantined, trapped inside, can't go anywhere, can't go out. They put this on, and you're going to see two geriatric old guys, one who's got dementia, the other who's an avowed communist. And people are going to say, this is our choice. This is our choice. At least with Tulsi there or Buttigieg, you felt like there was some choice.
So you would say it's good for Trump?
Of course it's
good. So then
good.
why would Biden participate?
Because
if it's good
he
for
can't
Trump?
come across as a coward. If he hides, he is nothing but a coward.
Nope.
He needs to assure people that he's fit for the office. He hasn't done that yet. The only reason he's winning is because people don't like the idea of a socialist.
You have as good of a shot as being the Democratic nominee for president as Bernie Sanders. It's roughly
Bernie
the same.
Sanders has a decent shot because
he does
Biden
not. He's less than 1%.
Did you see Biden walking to the SUV yesterday trying to get out of whatever event, and he can't even walk a straight line anymore.
Hillary collapsed at the
He's
9/11.
close. He's close to collapse. It's only March, right? He's got to keep it together for 8 more months. I'm not sure he can. He has to show people.
The less he talks, the better.
He has to show people that he can do it. And besides that, we need to have this party. We're looking forward to it. All right, stop being a
and keep in mind, so when there was 10 candidates or whatever, and he only has to speak for 12 minutes, 13 minutes.
Now he's going to have to speak for an hour.
Yeah. What does he get? The more Biden talks, the worse it is for him. This is a terrible idea.
Okay.
Terrible.
He has no choice. He has no choice.
He does have a choice.
Okay, tell me what the reason is if he cancels.
Because he's the nominee. You present yourself as the nominee.
Can't do that.
And you are the nominee.
No,
you can do whatever you want when you are the nominee, which he is.
You can't. He would get killed by everybody around him.
Not me.
Even the media, people who all support him.
Yeah, because they want the ratings.
Would say,
they want the,
oh, my God, he's running scared. He's hiding because he is not
You just present it like Trump.
lucid.
Trump would not debate. Trump would not.
The day you're talking about, he went and did a whole town hall and talked to 1,000 people. Now,
Trump at this position was still competing with Ted Cruz. This is not a competition between these two anymore. It's
yes,
over.
It is. I just gave you the numbers. 830 to 690. That's pretty close. It's closer than people realize.
And then you got the super delegates, which are all going to go to him.
Anyway, we're looking forward to it. I hope you can make it. I hope Mute can make it. I hope Mute gets a few Coronas in him and just starts, saying, "Where's that Turtle Boy punk? Let me show. Where is he? Where is he?" And it gets a little chippy.
I doubt it. I don't think he has it in him.
I'd love a scrap on Sunday night.
I don't think he has it in him.
Yeah. I won't break it up.
Dave has got to behave himself because he's going to be periscoping.
Yep. I'm going to live stream it. Yep.
Actually, you don't have to behave. You can drunk periscope. That's more entertaining than
just
regular.
Do it personally? Just do it in the corner while you guys are doing your thing?
Just walk around.
Okay.
No, we're going to get here about 7, watch the debate at 8.
Yep.
8 to whenever. I'm not sure people are going to hang in there if it's not really entertaining. I will. I'm looking forward to it. I find these debates like big games, like NFL playoff games. I find them very entertaining. And with these two, especially with Biden, it's, again, watching a guy on a tightrope. You don't know if he's going to slip. And you can gloat and say, see, I told you he shouldn't have done this.
Which
I don't care.
You
will. Good luck to you. Anyway, in Attleboro, it's long and complicated. With your case, long and complicated. I read all about it. Still not sure what the hell you're talking about, but you won, right?
My man, Rachel Rollins' opponent in the election.
Yes, right. Represented you for nothing.
For nothing. It was very. That's what happens when you're Turtle Boy.
Right.
You're good to people. You scratch their back. You never know who's going to show up at a courthouse.
You got fine legal representation for nothing. You won. Congratulations. We're happy. We're always rooting for you. We're always rooting for free speech. It was a victory for free speech,
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yes.
As it always is when it comes to Turtle Boy, the best reporter in New England. You can read all about his case on
tbdailynews.com.
tbdailynews.com. Are we sure the person writing it is on your side and not a double agent?
I would think so. I think I wrote it, so I would hope so.
You're a pretty damn prolific writer. How long does that take you? I hate when people ask me that when I was writing.
I spent a lot of time doing
You did
this.
a lot of cutting and pasting and,
a lot of work goes into this.
Documents and photographs.
It's all worth it. It's all worth it.
A lot of work. It's worth reading if you want to know what Turtle Boy went through the other day in Attleboro court. It went a hell of a lot better for our man Turtle Boy than it did for Harvey Weinstein. I was hoping, we spent a lot of time talking about Harvey Weinstein's case. He was convicted despite pretending to be sick and injured and having a bad back and going in on his walker, and despite the fact that some of the victims had sexual relations with him after the after the sexual assaults, the crimes, the rapes. The jury didn't buy his defense. The jury convicted him on 2 counts, correct? Is it 2 counts of violent sexual assault? The judge had a choice. Could sentence him to between 5 and 29. I was hoping for 10 because the defense said if he got more than 5, he would die in prison, and I believe that. He looks bad. I said, please give him 10, because he's 67. I think he's almost 68. He will die. He will not live to 10 more years. This wonderful judge named James Burke, a man in New York criminal court, gave him 23 years. And check this out, what the judge said. To me, it almost seemed like, borderline, I don't know, unethical or illegal to say this. The judge said, "It is your first conviction, Mr. Weinstein. It was not your first offense." He just knew that this monster had been doing it for decades and knew it finally caught up to him. And it was considered a victory, I guess, for the Me Too movement, which is a good thing. And his lawyers outside of court blamed, essentially, overreaction to Me Too. But everyone knows what kind of creep he is, what kind of monster he is. He has 2 more cases.
She also
pending.
said, I'm not here to defend Harvey Weinstein. Actually, you are. You're the defense attorney. You're literally here to defend him.
There are 2 more cases in L.A., I believe, facing. So he will die in prison. Hopefully,
he might die today with the chest pains that he's dealing with.
He's already faking. I don't know how long you get away with that, faking whatever heart injury, heart attack or chest pain. So he's still in the hospital, I believe. He has not been shipped back to Rikers. So when he goes back to Rikers, I'm not sure if I want him to get shivved on day one. I'd like to see him suffer.
That's where he's
going to
be. He's going to be in Rikers.
Yeah, this is real. This is not.
Yeah, I thought they put him upstate somewhere.
Not why he's a violent criminal. It's not a.
I thought Rikers is like a long term. It's like a Shirley. I thought it was more of like a House of Corrections type of place. Temporary, 2.5 years.
I don't know.
My jail's.
I think it's in Belize, but I'm not sure what it's like. But
you can't escape because it's an island. So
he is going to die in prison, which is a wonderful thing. Just like Bill Cosby. Wouldn't it be great? Those two become like pen pals.
They could be bunkies.
They could be bunkmates.
You could send out tweets.
And I'm not sure they'd be happy though. The thing with Weinstein, I don't think he's, as I've said before, I don't think he's real a prize for some hardcore bunkmate, cellmate.
Did they provide him with pornography?
Yes, I'm sure part of his civil rights.
I feel like it kind of should
make sure
be.
he can get on YouPorn.
How come nobody's fighting for that right?
For what?
For the right to have pornography for prisoners. Isn't that? I mean, you're already taking away sex for them forever. Isn't it kind of inhumane, cruel, and unusual?
Why don't you take up that cause?
I might. Well, where's Ayanna Presley? To me, if she was a guy, she would understand, right? I mean, that seems like a pressing issue.
Okay, why don't you work on that?
I'm going to start a petition.
Rights of Harvey Weinstein to have
porn.
Do you want it like YouPorn or Pornhub?
Well, what else are they going to use?
So there's the title of the podcast today. Turtle Boy wants Harvey Weinstein to be supplied
I think it's kind of inhumane not to provide him pornography, to be perfectly honest with you. Something. What else are they going to do?
You're a strange guy.
I mean, let's be real here. Think about it. We'll come back next week to this one.
Okay.
If we're alive.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a separate podcast.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't you do
we'll
one?
Do
one of your live stream,
yeah.
whatever YouTube channel. He's going to make the case on Bill Cosby. Is there such thing as porn where there's a guy having sex with a passed out woman? There must be on Pornhub. They got everything.
Yes, I'm sure there is.
That's what Cos needs.
That's a good point.
Weinstein's victims were all smoking hot, and he's so disgusting.
I know. Oh.
I don't think he'll be able to settle for some, prison, cellmate, like some prison sex. That's not going to get it done.
Hairy.
And he's so gross. I said that's his saving grace. He's so repulsive. No one's going to want him. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
He's going to be just like this. Disgusting.
Well, people are going to know he has money. They're going to go after him right away.
Does he still have money?
I would assume he's got something.
He's getting sued by everybody. I'm not sure he's going to have money for much longer, but he will never, ever see the light of day. He'll never see the sun again. He will die a broken man hopefully in Rikers, and hopefully not long, because he was guilty as hell, and God bless this judge for showing no mercy. I enjoyed it. Anyway, the latest, what numbers we got here, Dave? The latest 938 cases of coronavirus, 29 deaths. The NCAA tournament goes on without fans. The NBA season is over. The baseball, we were waiting last night for Major League Baseball to cancel spring training or postpone the start of the season. Has that been confirmed yet?
It has not been confirmed.
It has not been confirmed. We're hoping people will continue to patroning Chinese restaurants?
Correct.
Patroning. But I don't have a lot of faith. I feel like last night it all changed. There weren't many people. I mean, I was downplaying the panic. I still think the panic in large part is being fanned by Trump haters that want to do anything they can to accelerate.
It's worked out well. The odds,
accelerate the stock market crash.
Well. Yeah.
They want panic in the streets. They know that's the best shot they have of sleepy, creepy Joe Biden defeating Donald Trump. They need this panic to take hold for 8 more months. They need the stock market to remain in the toilet for, I don't know, at least 4, 5, 6 more months. That's the hope. If you are Jim Acosta, if you are Don Lemon, if you're the Boston Globe. Oh, by the way, Boston Globe didn't let me down. There's one column.
You can't resist. You couldn't go a whole show without talking about the Globe.
I don't even know what to do.
It's impossible.
One column.
Let me guess, something liberal.
You think in the Boston Globe they're talking about how it's everybody's racist?
From the Globe?
Renee Graham. The headline is "A Pandemic of Lies, Xenophobia, and Toilet Paper." He says the the effects are increased prejudice against Asians and Asians Americans. Last week, this is Renee Graham, a woman at the Globe. She writes, last week on the MBTA platform, that's the subway, on the platform, I saw a young Asian man wearing a surgical mask verbally harassed by an older man who, with profanity and epithets, repeatedly called him a plague.
Yeah, that never happened.
Okay, raise your hand if you believe that.
I'll take things that never happened for 500. An anecdote. What
anecdote
a convenient
from
thing. From a Globie.
An unnamed older man. Doesn't even identify his, race. It just says an older man.
She must have gone to the Kevin Cullen School of Journalism.
Yes,
let's just publish anecdotes.
How many times I look at someone and I just say, you are a plague?
Does anyone, in front of other people?
Did she go to the Dorchester Post parking lot and weep after that?
Does anyone?
That's the real question.
Yes, she saw.
Had a few pints after that.
Yeah.
It wasn't up for it. It wasn't up for it
And
tonight.
a corned beef sandwich at Sully's or Foley's. But that's completely made up. We know it. I guess, again, it serves a purpose. Dave prints out these Globe stories just to cheer me up. I get a good laugh every morning. I know that's fake news. I know we'll see more of it. This is the MO, by the way. You're going to see more stories as this thing, I don't say stabilizes, but when we get used to shutdowns and closings, they will turn their attention. Hell, it took Jim Coster like a minute and a half to turn to xenophobia. But all the usual suspects, the Globe, the New York Times, the network, CNN, will do story after story about how, they're not patroning Chinese restaurants. They're harassing Asian kids on subways. And nobody wants to, travel to Asia anymore because Trump fanned the flames of xenophobia and racism. I assume most people will laugh it off because it's comical. Trump shut down travel from China. That was a smart move, despite people accusing him of racism. He should have done it sooner. It should have been more across the board. The idea that you would ever consider that there's any argument for allowing any high-risk travel is just nuts. As I said, if you didn't allow anyone in ever, as soon as this thing happened, there'd be no danger. There'd be no spread. I mean, that would solve.
That was his big mistake. He should have shut it down.
Again, 150 years ago, we wouldn't have an issue. They wouldn't be able to get here, right?
True.
And we'd say, no big deal. They got it. They'll fix it. They'll solve it. People will get it. Some will die. Some won't. But we'll be fine. Because we let them in, because we're stupid, now we're dealing with it. We have to minimize it. We have to stop it where we can.
You were saying that a month and a half ago on this podcast about planes are still coming in from China.
Yes,
it should have been.
It was the epidemic was out of control in China, and I think it was 8 before when the epidemic took hold, and between then and when Trump shut down travel, over 8,000 people traveled from China to L.A. So they got off the planes, and brought the virus to the United States, and then people said, we should probably do something about this.
Maybe that's not the best idea.
But you know what? We're going to find the vaccine. It's going to come from the US.
show's, we're going to do something about it. We're going to cancel the show until Sunday, right? Because we need to evaluate the situation.
Yes, we need to prepare for the party Sunday.
We're going to take care of this.
Should we all wear masks Sunday? They don't help, but it somehow makes people feel better.
Thought about wearing one today.
You should.
Probably wouldn't be good for the podcast. But.
No, Sunday night we'll be here and we're going to watch the debate. If Joe Biden shows up and if they don't call it off.
I know you're excited for the UMass game today.
I don't know what UMass game you're talking about.
Oh, big
fans?
Atlantic 10 tournament today.
No fans?
Winner plays Dayton, number 2 team in the country.
I'll watch out of curiosity games without fans just to hear the squeaking of the sneakers, but I can't imagine it's going to be.
There weren't any fans at the
good.
A10 tournament to begin with.
Okay, I'm talking about actual games where they allow 0 fans. 0. Shouldn't they at least allow the kids' families, the players' families to go?
I think they will.
And sit 5 feet apart?
I think they're going to.
Yeah, I think families can go, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. They should allow at least, girlfriends and mothers and fathers to go just for...
The show should pay for Turtle Boy to go watch Dayton because he has talked about Dayton this entire
They're number 2 team in the country,
Dayton's
man.
biggest fan, apparently.
Well, when's the last time an A10
we don't
team...
care.
When's the last time an A10 team has been ranked this high?
Let's continue.
You guys don't like college basketball?
Let's continue this discussion off the air. We got to wrap this podcast up. People want to hear this. You know what? People get their information from us. We're giving them all the latest, the numbers, the closings. We're, like when you're a kid and you put on like BZ to hear the school closings, people turn to this podcast to get the latest on the Chinese coronavirus, which came from Wuhan province, which is in China, and the Chinese communist government mishandled everything. It's all their fault. You got that, Jim Acosta? You got that, AOC? You idiots?
Will the Boston Public Schools have school tomorrow?
They will not.
Okay,
that's my
your prediction.
Every time someone asks me if it's going to happen, I say it's going to happen. They're going to cancel the Boston Marathon.
It's going to be a domino effect now.
They're going to cancel everything.
NHL will be canceled.
I heard an analyst say this, that schools are afraid to get sued. If they leave them on campus and a kid gets sick, they get sued. If they tell them to go home and get out of the dorms, it's not their fault anymore. It's a bad move. Yep. It will accelerate the spread, telling them to just scatter to the wind, these young people, but it gets the schools off the hook, and that's what they're interested in.
I agree.
All the schools. I mean, my son is in college right now. He's still there, and we're just waiting. Every 10 minutes, we like checking the phone, say, have they closed the school yet? My daughter's also in school at Boston College. They're gone. It's over. They're canceled until
you let your daughter go to Boston College?
I didn't pick it, but what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Boston College?
Yeah,
where do
she
I
couldn't
start?
get into UMass.
Do you like boat shoes? How do you feel about boat shoes?
Boat shoes.
You'll love Boston College if you like boat shoes. It's a requirement.
I wanted to go for spring break to Belize,
Dockers.
but it's landlocked, so she couldn't go to Belize in the spring break.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Anyway, all right, Turtle Boy, congratulations on your big win in court the other day.
Thank you very much. Undefeated with harassment notice.
Podcast is going remote. We're going to have to figure out how to do this next week.
Thanks for coming. We will see you Sunday night. You're going to come in and have a couple Coronas with us and watch the debate. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks to Shea Concrete and Allied Paving and the great Legacy Club. I'm looking forward to hanging out here with all our friends Sunday night. Thanks to DCU and DiStefano. Thanks to everybody who's listened, rated, reviewed, told your friends, subscribe. We need it. I need it. If you don't help us out, I'm going to have to get a real job, and we don't want that. We don't want that. But check it out. We got a website now, too, thejerrycallahanpodcast.com. Thanks for everything. Thanks for listening. I will talk to you again soon, and we'll be here Sunday night. Monday morning, you're going to be able to hear the podcast, which will be recorded live at our big debate watch party Sunday night. Thanks again.